What is up, Pinky Squad, and welcome back to our second podcast here on the Pinky Squad channel. I'm Avoda. I'm joined by Pat, Richie, and Dan. And today we have a very special topic to talk about, don't we, guys?
Yes,
we do.
What is that topic? Does anybody want to give it away?
Dogs.
They probably can tell from the title of the podcast. But today we will be talking about anime. Something that...
Being weebs.
Yeah, we're being weebs today. Today is a weebcast.
Oh, there's the clickbait. How to be a weeaboo.
Exactly.
Title sorted.
Perfect.
So, out of all the members of the Pinky Squad, I'd say the majority of us are fans of anime, so it felt like something that would be appropriate to do. That, you know, maybe roughly once a month, a couple of us will get together, we'll talk about anime, the animes we love, our favorite animes, things we're excited for, all that stuff. Things we hate, those are also
like Dan.
On the table. Yeah.
Wow.
People we hate.
Straight up.
Just straight up. I hate it.
It should also probably be said that because we're going to be talking about some of our favorite animes and the aspects of why we like them and all that stuff, there is going to potentially be some spoilers in this podcast.
Yeah.
So if you got a problem with spoilers, bye.
Well,
but,
you don't need to go. I will. If there's a spoiler, we'll probably mention it, and I'll put like a thingy on the screen just saying spoiler warning, so you know.
Yeah.
Hey, so yeah, please
mute.
don't leave. Please don't. See, you just shook off half of our viewers already, man.
Just mute for a
skip,
second.
skip to this part.
If Richie
if
doesn't
you don't
put
want
that
spoilers.
spoiler warning up, blame him.
Exactly. If the other two of you are still here, don't worry.
I'm gonna forget one.
Yeah, you are. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Just write it down. Write it down when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna screenshot every time there's a spoiler and get
That's
that
perfect.
timer.
There you go.
It's perfect. Yeah, get that timestamp. So, we kind of worked out a little bit of an order of how we wanted to talk about things today, right? We got a couple things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
And what is first on the table here? Where are we
talking
going
about
with this?
firsts, Mev. What was your first anime?
Good stuff.
Me personally?
Yeah.
You personally.
Are we going with me because I'm the oldest? Are we going chronologically?
Okay, we'll go by
because
age.
All right.
my first anime is also actually probably older than most of you guys. It was actually an anime from the like the mid '80s called Fist of the North Star. It's a pretty intense anime.
Gruesome. It's gruesome.
It is quite gruesome.
I've seen one scene.
Basically, it takes place in like a post-apocalyptic, world. No plants or anything grow anymore. There's no governments or anything, and everything's pretty much just run by gangs, and there's, chaos everywhere and stuff. Okay. And our hero is named Fist of the North Star, and he has a special ability where pretty much when he punches things, they explode.
Oh,
okay, Saitama.
That's the thing.
All right.
He does some, a couple of like punches, and then their just head explodes. It's pretty wonderful.
Nice.
One Punch Man in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a Fist
punch
of the South Star too, who is kind of his rival. The Fist of the South Star is more, he kind of wants to like rule by power and stuff. And he stole the protagonist's fiance. He kidnapped her, and in a fight, he actually put like his fingers into the Fist of the North Star. The guy's name is Ken. Put his fingers into Ken's chest. So Ken has 7 wounds on his chest in the face, in the shape of like the Big Dipper, actually, which has
how Street Fighter was born.
That's where the North Star thing comes from. Actually,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
that's what. Yeah, because I believe the North Star is part of the Big Dipper, isn't it? I think.
Yes,
I think
the
that's
tip
the
of
thing.
it is. Yeah, the tip, I think.
But yeah, that was a pretty crazy anime that I watched when I was like 13 or 14. I had my friend Mike, who was like an older dude in high school, got me into a lot of pretty crazy animes, and that was certainly the first one, which then led me to stuff like Akira and like
Oh, of course.
Ninja Scroll. That's another pretty intense, gruesome one.
Oh, I remember one in that tree scene you sent me with that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that one.
But yeah, that was pretty much my first anime, and then I stopped watching anime for a long time, and then it was actually Attack on Titan, which brought me back into anime, and I've been watching it again, a lot of anime again the past couple of years. So that's pretty much my first one. Who wants to go next?
If we want to do age,
your second oldest.
Yeah, if we want to do age, I guess I'm doing it. All right. Well, I mean, do I have to say that Dragon Ball was my first? I mean,
you don't have to, but
that's like that's all I do on my channel. It's just Dragon Ball. But I watched that back when it was on Toonami.
Yeah, so did I. That was
Toonami.
Actually one of the.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember how old I was. Probably not old enough to watch it, maybe. My dad was actually sort of into it, like very, very little, very little. Like he just knew about Super Saiyan forms every once in a while, and he doesn't know like any of the characters really, but he knew of it a lot. So he got me into it.
My favorite character is Naruto.
Yes, exactly.
Best character.
How many people did I trigger?
Everyone in the comments is now just screaming at you. But
let's see if we can make it all the way through this podcast without saying our favorite anime is Cory in the House or whatever.
That's gonna be tough.
That was gonna be a tough one.
That was my first line when it got to me next.
But
sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, how dare you? No, I'm just kidding. But besides that, I stopped watching a bunch of anime for a long time. Like after Dragon Ball, I didn't really touch any of it until like my freshman year of college, I want to say. So this is like 7-year-old to freshman year of college. So this is like 11, 12 years. And then SAO was one that got me sort of back into it. And I was just like, this is all nice. And then I watched my favorite anime of all time, which is Love, Chonibu, and Other Delusions, which is a romance comedy shonen type thing. It's really nice. I like it. And that's how I watch it.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, 2 seasons. It's too precious. I love it.
2 seasons too. It's also like manageable.
Yeah,
when you go to look at like One Piece or something. You're like, over 1,000 episodes. I'm not starting this.
Oh no! It's only 24. It's all good.
Nice.
That's manageable.
Yeah, and also I think there's a movie coming out next year.
Oh, cool.
On it. So I'm pumped for that. But obviously, us Western people won't get it for like a year and a half, but whatever, it's okay, it's fine.
Is it a live action movie? We all know how good live action movies based on anime
not yet.
Sorry.
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, and that's yeah.
A little foreshadowing.
All right, and that's my spiel. So who's next?
I guess I'm up.
All right,
since I'm a month older than Dan.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, actually, mine kind of ties into Dan because I mean, obviously when I was like, 8 years old, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, but I don't count that because I didn't know it was anime, and so I'd prefer to start from when I actually started watching anime consistently, which was when Dan recommended me to watch Sword Art Online, maybe like 3 years ago.
About that, yeah.
2 3 years ago, something like that. So I went and watched the first season of SAO. Actually, I watched the first half, and it was good. And I liked it. And then from there, I watched probably about 60 episodes of Fairy Tail, and I really enjoyed that. And that is my favorite anime. And then I finished SAO, like the second half of SAO and SAO 2, and I was like, okay, that's not bad, because Dan was kind of egging me to watch SAO 2 the second half, because he said it was like super good.
It was good.
And the feels. He thought I'd cry. I didn't cry.
I cried. I'll admit it. That ending was so sad.
And then I got super back into Fairy Tail, and I watched the entire thing. I then started watching That was the first time I watched subbed anime. Is when I watched the.
Okay.
I think it was GMG. It was.
Okay.
Yeah, the dub was
halfway. It was halfway in the GMG. It was like, stop on the dub. But then the sub started going. I was like, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I know.
So
but the sub is actually fantastic.
Absolutely,
I love it.
It's so
I love
good.
the sub.
Yeah.
I was always kind of like wary of watching subs because it's like reading things. But I think once you start doing it and you're doing it more, it gets easier.
It's second
and then you
nature.
start
Well, back in the day, it was it was almost like frowned upon to watch the dub versions of things
Yeah.
because I mean they've gotten way better with voice acting on the dubs now.
Yeah.
Because like back in the day they were so bad,
Oh,
like
I mean,
it was almost sacrilegious to watch.
I think
People
the
are
dub
reading from the
version.
script, basically.
I think Funimation do a great job on getting the right people
Yeah.
for the dubs now.
Oh.
Like, and you'll
Yeah.
see
Oh.
in some of the top most known animes, you'll see
Oh.
the same guy main charactering
Yeah.
most of them.
Are you
brings
talking about like
happens a lot.
Chris Sabbath, who's Vegeta, but also All Might?
Yeah,
And, yeah,
exactly.
he's just everywhere. Yeah, exactly.
You'll see a lot of the same, and they're really great. So dubs, I don't think they should be frowned upon anymore because most of them are pretty solid.
Pretty
These
good,
days.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
But I'm
Kinda
totally
funny.
for. I usually watch subs now just because they come out beforehand.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So,
I'm
yeah.
gonna talk about the dub thing later on
Yeah.
in another segment. I'll talk about the dub more. So there you
And
go.
I actually went even as far as reading the Fairy Tail manga completely. It's finished now,
Yeah.
which happened maybe like a month or two ago.
Yep.
Completely read the entire thing because I loved it that much. And I got
Mm-hmm.
so into it. So that was kind of my journey with anime. And I pretty much owe it to Dan. I wouldn't have
You're
probably
welcome.
been watching it or anything.
Hey,
My
we-
channel wouldn't be what it is right now.
That's right.
Because I wouldn't have watched anime, so I wouldn't have done anime content, and we never would have ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you pretty much owe Dan like 50% of your revenue. is what
I
you're saying.
take 70% of it's Richie W.
Just
Good, you worked out a good deal. You got good lawyers, dude.
That means that means you're the biggest pinky if you own 70% of Richie as
That's
well.
true.
You are the biggest pinky. You're bigger than
Yeah.
Xylo. Impressive.
You're the majority shareholder of Pinky Squad, I guess.
I'm sorry, guys. My lawyers weren't good enough. I had
There
a
you go.
panda.
You're
Oh,
panda.
yep.
Okay, yeah, that
That's-
was your
that was your
problem. You got
mistake, yeah.
panda.
Yeah. All right, Dan.
Yeah.
you're
All
up.
right, Dan,
Um,
go right ahead.
So, unlike Richie, I'd consider Beyblade to be my first anime. It was one
Beyblade.
that
Interesting.
I got into. I watched the first episode on, I think it was Cartoon Network it was on. And I watched the first episode and immediately the intro grabbed me and I was hooked on it since then.
Let it rip.
Yeah.
Let it rip. There
It
you
was-
go.
It was probably the most enjoyable show I've watched out of all the animes I've watched, just because of probably nostalgia now mainly. But apart from that, my first like consistent watching anime was Fairy Tail. My friend suggested it, that I started watching it, and then saw that online, came next, and Attack on Titan. And Attack on Titan was actually my first sub, because I watched all of it in dub, and someone told me, oh, the sub's better, so I kind of had to give in and start watching it. And same with Richie, I started reading the Fairy Tail manga after he told me to. So
Yeah.
thanks for that, Richie.
I got my own back.
Yep. He was like, oh, you have to read the manga. It's so far ahead. And then
Yeah,
I started
it
reading
was.
it and finished all of Attack on Titan. Well, it's still coming out, but I caught up with that in one night from chapter 20 to chapter 80, I think.
Oh, you've read the full Attack on Titan
Yeah.
manga, as
So
well?
I know everything that's
wow.
going to happen. But
I have not. I've heard some spoilers of what's gonna happen.
it
Yeah.
gets good. It does get
None
good.
of that, Mev. None of that. I don't want to hear it.
Like there's certain, like all I'll say is there's two characters who I found out are probably from the same family, which makes complete sense to me. That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
There you
Okay,
go.
I know that one. I know
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
one.
that's
I know
when I found out. I was like, oh, spoiler. Okay.
My roommate at university had like a book based on that one of those characters, and so I kind of read that book,
Yeah.
and that's how I knew.
Gotcha.
As well as just accidentally looking on the Wikipedia page. and
Yeah.
seeing
You're
the
like,
last
"Dang
one." No, it's just like, oh, wow, okay.
Oh,
Moral of the story: don't look at Wikipedia pages.
There
That's
you
a
go.
golden rule for any series.
exactly.
And that's one I did watch the subs of because I watched it on Netflix, and I think they only have the sub version on there. They don't have the dubbed.
The UK has the dub.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No fair.
I don't think I've seen any part of the dub. I know this. Well, I know what Levi kind of sounds like.
And now I'm like so used to their voices
Yeah.
that I'd be weird to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the same with me when I switched from the dub to sub on Fairy Tail. Was I'm so used to
change.
hearing Natsu's voice actor that it was just so strange.
You're like, who
Yeah.
are these people?
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
much it for me on my first anime.
Cool. That pretty much covers everybody's sort of introduction to the glorious Weeaboo world of anime.
And if you guys do want to get involved as well, you can comment down below with your anime stories.
Absolutely.
How you got into it
That's
and
a
all
good
that kind
idea.
of stuff. And we'll kind of go over and look at all that so we can, discuss these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely look at, and I'll also, I go through the comments and I'll start looking some of them up and see if there are animes that I want.
Exactly.
I'm
Recommendations.
always looking
too.
for suggestions.
Yeah. We'll judge you on what shows you suggest.
The only Boku you're allowed is Boku no Hero.
Yeah.
So,
right.
yeah, what else? What's the next?
Well, the next thing is actually something I recommended. So we were trying to do this thing where each anime podcast, this was Dan's idea, we get like a pilot episode of a new series or an anime. It doesn't necessarily have to be new, but we're trying to go with these new season ones. And we all watch it, and then we come to the podcast, and we talk about it, and, discuss our feelings on it. So I suggested one that I'd started watching from the new season called Gamers! ! So I got everyone to go away, watch it, and now we're all going to get here, and we're going to just talk about our first impressions and stuff about this. So
We're treating this kind of like a book club sort of situation.
Yeah.
What we should do is next time probably tweet it out, and you guys can watch along as well, and then you can leave your thoughts on what we watched.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
something I absolutely would love to do at some point is one of these podcasts live where instead of watching it beforehand, we watch it together live on Rabbit, streaming it, and then discuss it right after watching it live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
kind of like a viewing party.
Yeah.
I think it was
Excuse me.
Jack's Films does a lot of that where he watched like Attack on Titan with his buddy and they live streamed it while they were watching it.
Mute the audio, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they just like drink wine and watch it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a cool thing to do at some point.
Yeah.
Put that pinky on that like button.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm coughing a lot.
It's fine.
Alright, so as Mev dies, I guess I'll start us off with Gamers.
Yeah.
So what Gamers is it's one of those sort of, now this is the first one of this sort of, I guess, style of anime that I've watched, but it's one of those like rom-com school setting animes. So it's kind of meant to be funny and ridiculous and kind of out there. And it's about a school where it's filled with people that love video games, which is why I kind of wanted to watch it and related to that because I love video games. So they're trying to set up this club for like competitive gaming and stuff. And the main character, his name's Amino, and he like plays lots of games and loves gaming, but he doesn't do it competitively. He plays the games for the enjoyment of the game. Whereas this girl who is like, she's like the big #1 girl in school, the most popular.
Yeah,
Everyone
she's like
loves her.
super popular and everybody, but she is like a low-key gamer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like nobody really knows she's a gamer. She kind of keeps it like a secret.
And she's like, I guess she's infatuated with Amino and just his thing for games and how he enjoys them and stuff. But she wants him to join this game club. And when he does go and checks it out, he turns her down. And she kind of takes it personally. But he turns her down, not because, he doesn't like the club or he doesn't like her or anything, but it's because he doesn't play games to be competitive and to be the best. He enjoys the competitiveness, but he's just not good at it. And he would bring them down, so he just wants to play the games to enjoy the game for the game. So anything like an RPG would be his sort of thing for sure. And I know there's a lot of like dating simulators that get in this, which I've never played one, so I have no idea the enjoyment of those. Maybe maybe they are fun. I don't know.
As soon as you play Danganronpa, you'll know.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Is there a multiplayer one?
Probably.
What's the one that the Game Grumps made? That Daddy
Dad Simulator.
Isn't that basically like a dad dating simulator or something? Of course, as you do.
That's kind of the gist of this first episode and how this series is going to progress for gamers.
Yep.
And I watched the first episode, and just hearing it, that's one thing. But I think you really need to watch it to catch the sort of the comedy in there.
Yeah.
It's really, it's a very different comedy because it's not outright like funny lines or anything. It's the way that it's filmed and edited, and the little things, like the noises and the facial expressions and the things that happen in conversation of like serious conversation. But then there's these ridiculous sort of outcomes.
Yeah.
Then they always do this kind of, because there's something, it's one of those anime tropes you always see where like text pops up on the screen to like represent the moment kind of thing. And they do that, but it'll be like text pops up on the screen, most popular girl in school.
She'll lose,
but it'll say like asterisk, she'll lose it all eventually or something. They do like little foreshadowing thing, and I like the comedy that's kind of in that too. I also loved the scene where he turned her down.
Yeah.
Because like it's in his mind, and he's just like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! Everything I ever asked for. This is all I could ever dream." He's like,
No.
"Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no." Second later, he's like, "What have I done?"
It's pretty fun. So I guess everyone can kind of give their first impressions on that now.
If you had to score it from 1 to 10, how about we start with that, and then maybe elaborate a little bit.
Okay, that's a good idea. I would probably go with maybe like a 7.58, I think. For me.
I think that's about where I'm at, too.
Putting like Boku at a 9.5 and Fairy Tail at a 10 on my scale, personally. I'd say it's in the 7.58. I think...
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was out.
Yeah, there's a dub out.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's...
It is fun. Hey, I mean, there's a new sub episode out today, so I'm gonna go watch that after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say it probably wasn't like the first time I watched Attack on Titan, I like had to watch the next episode right away. And I kind of felt that way about Seven Deadly Sins too. I enjoyed Seven Deadly Sins enough where I just like had to keep going. This one is not like I have to watch the next episode, but I really want to. That's kind of where it's at.
Yeah. So what would you score it?
I would say about the same as you. I'd say 7.5.
Okay.
That's I think my fairest assessment. I definitely enjoy it, and I'm definitely going to keep watching it for sure.
Mine's just I only watched the first episode. Based on that, I probably only give it like a 6.5. Purely because I liked the comedy bits. Like they made me laugh when they foreshadowed her losing popularity, and the other guy, I can't remember his name, would lose his popularity as well.
Oh right, yeah.
But it seemed to me like a lot of setup for no payoff. With like when he was super excited to join, and then he just said no, and he regretted it the next day. It was like, well, if you could have joined just to be in the club, although it is a competitive club, I feel like I'll still watch it because it will probably get better.
Yeah,
it does.
Like I'm interested to see what they're gonna do with that. The whole idea that he said no, but obviously he's still gonna be involved and
that's
with
what
those
got me
characters and stuff.
hooked for the next episode is that he's what's going to happen now basically, and my story will probably change after I watch more of the series.
Yeah. So I mean, we'd also be interested to see what you guys think. So we recommend going and checking out the first episode of Gamers Exclamation Point. Let us know down in the comments what you think. Some of your criticisms. You can even score it if you'd like we did. We'd be interested to see what everybody thinks for sure. And I was just gonna say we will probably pick another episode, and as you guys said, put it up on Twitter for the next anime podcast.
We could even do like a Twitter vote. So there's a few that we're thinking.
Yeah.
About, and you guys can.
Oh, that's a
vote
good
for which
idea.
one.
If whoever's on the podcast puts one
So-
forward, and then the
Link in the
viewers
description.
vote.
Yeah,
Follow
so
that
follow
Pinky
us on
Squad
Twitter
Twitter,
for
yeah.
all that stuff. And I believe Pat was just about to tell us some of the places you can actually see these.
Yeah.
I think you were.
Not yet.
Yeah, this is not sponsored. We just like anime, and that's where we. Yeah, it's where we just go watch stuff. So
Yeah.
Come and sponsor us, Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll, I'll be waiting for your email. Yeah.
Well, next up, since we're leaving the best thing to last, we should talk about what we're excited for, what is coming soon that we really, really can't wait to see. And I know there's a few things out there for me.
Same.
What is that for you guys?
Well, maybe Richie, we should first address some of the ones that I know at least you and me are on the same page for.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know one is Seven Deadly Sins next
I believe-
season.
January 2018, I believe,
Yep.
Yeah,
is the release date for Seven Deadly Sins.
Pretty sure that's right.
especially after Netflix duped us with that last thing. They did this little like
Yeah,
non-canon
the
sort of
OVA.
like mid-season
Yeah.
thing. And they even called it season 2. That's where
They've changed it now.
It was a
they
labeling
have since
mistake.
changed it. Yeah,
I remember
But it
tweeting
got,
Richie
like-
about that, saying, "Oh, season
Yeah.
2's on Netflix."
I was like, oh my god, what? I gotta go see. I watched it, and then I was like, this is 4 episodes.
Yeah.
This is that OVA thing.
I was
that subbed.
heartbroken too.
And I was like, you liked
and they were still entertaining. I mean, if you like the characters and
Oh,
you
yeah.
if you like Seven Deadly Sins, it was they were still good those
Oh, yeah.
4 episodes.
Yeah.
But when you were expecting like the story to go forward,
Yeah.
they still small
To let
spoiler
them-
alert, but they're at the point now where they only have like one more sin to reveal in the season or in the series. Yes.
Who
So yeah, that is one. Certainly, a couple of us are excited.
I have
for.
no idea what he's gonna sound like, but I just have this idea. If you've seen Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Brotherhood, I feel like he's gonna sound like Armstrong. That
Okay.
Yeah.
just from I've seen a visual, like I've seen him like pictures in the manga of what he looks like, and that's just what I'm expecting. I hope so, because Armstrong's great,
Yeah.
so that would be cool. But I guess, shall I mention another one? So
Yeah.
I've got 2 more on my list.
Okay.
I guess one that probably most of us here are also excited for is September 2018 is apparently the release date for Fairy Tail to return.
Yeah.
Now-
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
The manga, the manga's finished, but the anime is coming back, and I cannot wait because obviously we've all read the manga, so we know exactly what's going to happen. We've read it. Now we get to visually see some of the awesomeness that happened.
The fights I'm most excited for.
Oh yeah,
I would say I'll come out in the open and say I actually have not watched the whole series and I have not read the manga, so I don't know what's going to happen. I have some catching up to do. I've watched a fair amount of Fairy Tail, probably a good like 20, 30 episodes, somewhere around there. It's just been a while,
Yeah.
life's busy.
I think there's how many episodes is in it?
300.
300?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I should get started right after this podcast then, catching up.
I've watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I must have watched Fairy Tail so many times through,
Same.
but I generally skip a lot of the
Fillers.
filler arcs because
Yeah.
I really don't like the filler. I think they're very weak. Yeah.
Yeah.
That it's my favorite anime, but the filler is weak.
The filler is bad.
Okay, it's not that bad. Come on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As
Ow.
really? Which one? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. So is anyone else excited for anything else upcoming?
I am excited for the Fairy Tail online game that's coming out
Okay.
next year.
Yeah, I forgot that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that even brings the Seven Deadly Sins game.
Oh,
was announced.
yeah, the PS4 game.
The
But
PS4 game coming out.
yeah, there's like an online RPG based on Fairy Tail that's coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
No, it's Western.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Fairy Tail Hero's Journey.
Okay.
And yeah,
I didn't know the name.
it looks pretty good. Attack on Titan, of course, I'm excited for.
Yeah, that's a given.
And
That's supposed to come out next year, but we can never be sure with that show.
yeah, and the Full Metal Alchemist live action movie. I'm hoping it's
I'm
gonna be
iffy.
good.
Always iffy. Oh,
Yeah.
it does.
It's just gonna end in sadness, Dan.
Yeah.
It's just gonna end in disappointment.
Yeah, I know it is. I know.
But I'm excited because I want more Full Metal Alchemist, because that's my third favorite anime, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, because it's so good. I hope Ling Yao's in it.
Yeah.
Because Ling Yao's the best. I guess anyone else got any before I say my last one?
I was gonna say my main one was Seven Deadly Sins and
Yeah.
Attack on Titan for whenever that comes back again.
Yeah.
Those are the two ones I'm excited for mainly.
Hello.
Drag racing.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But also on top of it is in the next couple of weeks, I think it's like 2 to 3 weeks or whatever, it's Dragon Ball Super, but they're doing an episode where it's a double episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Where like it's gonna be like an hour long.
Oh. Mm.
Spicy.
Quite interesting because this arc and it's currently going around. They think this tournament,
Mm-hmm.
they're treating the tournament as like the filler parts of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just like, I don't like cool. These guys are fighting, but it's not really gonna matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now they're finally getting to the parts of the so like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
What is
such a
Dragon
really-
Ball Z? They'll drag on that transformation for 3 episodes.
I think that's actually a really good transition to my final one, because my last one is, even though it's actually completely, the season hasn't finished yet for Boku no Hero Season 2, Season 3 is apparently set for November
Really?
this year already. They've announced that they're ready, the manga is ready for 3-4 plus more seasons already.
Oh my.
And I think the thing I love about Boku right now is they've only done 1 episode of filler in the whole thing. Which was,
Yeah.
it was a fan service episode for Asui, but it wasn't fan service in the way, they were, all like pervy and whatever. It was like showing the character.
It was just
and
an
what the character
Asui
can do.
episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
And it was
just
actually good. I
Yeah.
thoroughly
Oh,
enjoyed it.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah, it's
So
right now on work
it's-
experience.
It's right after the big arc. It's right after the
Yeah.
big arc.
I didn't even know that wasn't filler. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a solid episode. But they don't do any filler in Boku. They've
No.
gone straight through it with nothing. The first season was great with that. The second season, they're doing 25 episodes that I didn't know about. They didn't explain how many it was going to be. So we were like, oh, is it going to end? Then it waits a week and then it comes back. And then, oh, it does a whole nother arc. Now they're doing another arc of the manga. They've done 3 in 1 season.
Yeah.
And they've done no filler. And I've read the entire manga, so I know what's coming.
Is it
So-
a weekly manga?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a weekly manga.
Yeah, same.
So I'm super excited for that because they've done it so well.
Yeah.
They've not given us any filler. It's been so awesome. It's been epic. I think the one episode of the first part of the second season with Todoroki versus Midoriya, that was incredible. That
Yeah.
was one of the best anime episodes I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
That animation was so good. Like, even if you don't like it, you need to watch that part of that episode. Just the fight. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. They absolutely nailed it. But I think, is that everyone's excited anime-ness?
Other than
Another
the
show
Robot
I've
Online
never
as well.
seen. I'll put it on the list.
True SAO.
It was season 3. And I want to watch Ordinary Scale as well.
I haven't seen that yet. Yeah.
Oh wait, why are we excited about SAO?
I like SAO.
Dan is. I'll probably watch it. I think. Yeah, I'll watch it. I remember when I was watching season 2, I was complaining to Dan about the GGO arc. I was like, it's kind of boring.
I think the Fury art let it down a lot, and that's why people dislike it. I think the GGO art was better than people give it credit for.
I liked the setting of Alfheim. I really didn't like the story.
The story was quite bad, but the second arc of season 2 was probably on par with season 1, in my opinion.
The second arc of season 2 was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I remember complaining to you about GGO like it was really boring. You're like, just get through it. So the second arc is really good. Just get through it.
Second arc is so good.
Yeah.
But I guess we're ready to talk about the big one now.
Yep. God. The
This
Death
is,
Note live action.
Netflix's Death Note original movie.
Yeah.
Now, we come at this from different angles because I believe all of you have seen the Death Note anime.
At least a couple of episodes.
I've seen it all.
Whereas I have not seen it at all. So I'm coming at this where I'm completely oblivious to things about Death Note. So this is just a movie to me compared to these guys where they've got all of this lore and stuff.
So I want to start by saying Ryuk was done well. Willem Dafoe played Ryuk amazingly. He was the perfect casting option for the role. The way Ryuk was portrayed, his rules of how he conducts himself were a bit, off. They could have. It's hard to say without complaining a lot about it, but they could have given him more solid rules to abide by instead of just letting him operate how he wants to. But that's comparing it to the anime, which it wasn't an adaptation; it was a interpretation, I suppose you could say.
Okay.
I disliked the movie. I think that there was a lot they did wrong. L and Light were terribly written because they borrowed the characters from the anime, but they rewrote their personalities, and it just didn't make sense to me.
Okay.
And the over 100 rules in the Death Note, I know they are that many, but they're unwritten rules. So the whole Death Note was a bit interesting.
What's the main character's name again?
Light
I forget his name.
Turner. In the
Isn't in the anime he's got a different last name?
Light Yagami, yeah. In the anime.
I thought so.
Like, I didn't really like the actor who played him. It kind of like, I don't know. It just kind of overdid it for me.
He did the best job.
I don't think it was his fault.
No, he did the best job with the lines he was given, and so did L. It's just
I actually do like his actor. His name's Nat Wolff.
Yeah.
He's in one of my favorite independent films. But
oh yeah, I know. I mean, I think I recognize him from because I'm a fan of like Hank and John Green, and wasn't he in one of John Green's like book movie adaptations?
Oh, yeah, he was in.
I've seen him around.
What's it called?
Ready Player One?
No. I can't remember
He
what
was
it's called.
either in. He wasn't in A Fault in Our Stars.
Paper
right?
Towns.
It was the other Paper Towns. Yeah,
That's it. He was in Paper Towns. I think the problem there was they really tried to make the movie seem like an anime.
Yep.
And in real life, it just does not work. Like that.
It
the
doesn't.
first time he sees Ryuk and he starts reacting and he starts doing all the anime screaming and stuff, it really didn't work in real life.
In the anime, Light would never react like that. He would be calm and collected, and he wouldn't really pay much attention. But it seemed like they were trying to appeal to the anime fans who were going to watch the movie.
Yeah, I watched that and I saw it and I was like, that is the worst thing I've ever seen. That screaming and reaction to that. It was really bad. That was probably the low point of the movie for me.
Yeah.
And I think the start as well, where it just kind of, the book fell from the sky and he just picks it up, walks away. It really, a book falls from the sky, nobody sees it, you pick it up and you just think, oh, I'll just take this and not look at it.
That actually did happen in the anime.
It happens in the anime, but it's a lot different in the anime.
I think
no
that thing
storm or
also
anything.
works in anime, but when it's in real life, I don't think it works as well. I think there's a big difference.
But that was
It's
one of
silly.
the issues, is that Ryuk picked him, and in the anime he lost his notebook. But in the movie,
right.
he was trying to get Light to give up control because he just wanted to give it to someone else. And apparently, Ryuk can be killed by the Death Note in the movie, so that's something.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Apparently he can, but nobody's done it or got far enough.
He isn't. The Death Note doesn't affect Shinigamis.
Right.
And when someone else touches the Death Note, they see the Shinigami as well. But in the movie, they're like, nope, no one else sees him, but they can still use the Death Note.
I really think making live actions of anime, it just generally doesn't work, which is why I'm really wary about Full Metal Alchemist.
It should have worked though. That's the problem.
It was better than Attack on Titan.
It was better than
way better than Attack on Titan.
But
Wait, there's an Attack on Titan live action? I've never seen that.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that.
I guess I should avoid them.
It's just bad.
Honestly, I coming from a standpoint where I don't know this lore, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. It was an average movie. I wouldn't watch it again, but I didn't hate it. I could sit through it once. But there were
I
some
thought it was
low
pretty
points.
terrible.
Coming
from somebody who barely knows the lore. Like, I've seen maybe 5 or 6 episodes of Death Note. I know the premise. I watched the first, as I said, first 5 or 6 episodes. I just like points. In the end, you're basically to the point where the girl, his girlfriend or whatever, sort of like consumed by the power that the book gives her.
She was a
I
good
didn't
character.
believe that at all.
She was a good character, like compared to Light.
I actually really liked L. I liked his person. I liked the way he jumped around and how he acted.
But
that's I don't know. He's weird. Like I don't know how he's supposed to be.
That's how he's supposed to be.
Way. I liked that.
But it seemed a bit silly to do it in live action.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of worked for me.
That's fair enough.
That was probably the only thing that worked for me. I liked that.
But yeah, like the fact that she suddenly is just like totally willy-nilly, just ready to kill anybody, no morals. I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it got to that point with her, I'm just like, I'm not buying this.
I think
you're suddenly like, oh, I'm consumed by the power of the book, and it's just like I wasn't buying it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me.
From just a devil's advocate, I think that she was well written in that aspect because she was planning it for a while. She always, from the get-go, wanted to kill people just because you could. Like, they did try and establish that early on, but they only had 90 minutes as opposed to 37 episodes.
Yeah, I think that's another difficult thing. Making telling a series into a movie. It's difficult.
But it should have been an original story. It should have. That was probably the best way for them to make it work and it be good.
I think Netflix took the wrong angle on this. I think Netflix should have done what they've done really well and made an original show.
Yep.
If they did it as a full show, they'd have more time.
Yep.
They could have done it way better with that,
Absolutely.
I think, with more time. And I'm a big fan of Netflix original shows. They've done some really good ones.
Yeah.
So that's where I think they could have gone and done it well, but you know,
Stranger Things is awesome. 13 Reasons was awesome.
Riverdale was awesome.
But then they have all the shows that are just like claimed by Netflix. Like they didn't make them, but they say Netflix original series.
Seven Deadly
Like a lot of
Sins.
animes and stuff are that way.
And Castlevania, is that?
Castlevania is a Netflix original. It was made by them, yeah.
It was actually okay.
It was made by an Austin animation company, I think.
Okay.
I hear that's pretty good.
That is actually quite good. We watched some of it at Insomnia, just because why not?
Cool. Yeah, so none of us were really that happy with the Death Note movie, I believe is the conclusion of that, huh?
No, didn't hate it, but I wasn't impressed, and I wouldn't watch it again.
If you guys disagree with us, or agree with us, let us know down in the comments. Yeah. Or if you haven't seen it and you feel brave enough to try to make it through the movie. Through that movie, it is on Netflix right now. If you got Netflix, or I'm sure you can find it somewhere.
Yeah,
by other precarious means.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much everything we wanted to cover for today's podcast?
I think so,
for the most part.
But
Okay.
Oh, Attack on Titan.
Fairy Tail.
Yes. Oh, okay. Fairy Tale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, we've probably
Yeah.
people could probably deduce what our favorite animes were, but we never flat out came out.
And I thought
said
yours
it.
was Code Geass.
I like it. It's up there. It's probably number 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's,
Yeah. Code Geass is the same for me.
That's Boku for me. It's like
It's almost there. Yeah.
It's almost taking it that number 1 spot, but it's not there yet. But Fairy Tail just did something with me. I connected so much, so
Yeah.
it was a big step for me. So
Yeah.
exactly.
That's awesome.
But yeah, what is your guys' favorite animes? Let us know in the comment section down below. You guys have got a lot of commenting to do.
You
there.
do.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
you
to read
have a
these.
lot to cover. Also, I have one more thing for you.
Ooh.
And it is referring to next week's podcast. We do these podcasts every Sunday. They'll be coming out every Sunday on the channel. It'll be different mixes of members from the Pinky Squad.
Yeah.
And next week's podcast is gaming is the topic. So, favorite video games from the past, maybe? Favorite current video games? Upcoming video games people are excited for?
Well,
That is going to be the next week's topic. So if you guys want to leave some more stuff in the comments referring to next week's podcast, maybe
Do
the guys will get some suggestions from
Yeah,
that.
we're not exactly sure how they're gonna take it, what angle they're
Yeah.
gonna come from. So we can't tell you what to expect to see, but know that it'll be gaming related. So you should tune in and have a listen.
But I did tell them actually last night that I would say that and try to plug the next podcast so that
okay.
they could get some ideas in the comments.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And we're going to try to do that in general, let you guys know during the podcast, what we plan on doing the next week and stuff so you guys can know what to expect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that is going to be it for today. If you guys did enjoy and you want to see more of this type of stuff, let us know by smashing that like button with your pinky. But be careful, you don't want to hurt it until your pinky gets nice and strong like all of our pinkies. You might want to pace yourself. But yeah, smack that like button. Let us know if you want to see more, anime discussion in the podcast, what other stuff you want to see in the podcast, topics you'd like us to discuss, stuff like that. And we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.